What is going on, guys? The 2019 NFL season is in the books. Congrats to the Kansas City Chiefs on winning Super Bowl 54. They were definitely a pretty high-up pick to win it all before the season started, and they delivered as expected. While many fans and pundits nailed their Super Bowl 54 predictions, a plethora of football observers, total pro sports included, were way off. Yes, we were off. We were so wrong. Oh man. Here are the 15 worst preseason hot takes for the 2019-2020 NFL season. Number 15, all aboard the Baker hype train. The Browns were the true media darlings entering the 2019 season. They added Pro Bowl wideout Odell Beckham Jr. in a blockbuster trade with the New York Giants, while also bringing in Olivier Vernon and Sheldon Richardson to complement Myles Garrett on the defensive line. Baker Mayfield had one of the best rookie seasons ever in 2018, tossing 27 touchdowns, the most ever for a first-year quarterback. It was easy for everybody to believe that Mayfield would take his game to another level as a sophomore, especially with OBJ joining the fold. But it was probably a stretch to say that he'd go from standout rookie to the league MVP in just 1 year. So what did Baker's 2019 season stat line look like? How about a 59.4 completion percentage for 3,827 yards, 22 touchdowns, 21 interceptions, and 40 sacks? That is a big yikes. Big yikes. Number 14, so much for that Patriots receiving core. As usual, the Patriots were a primary favorite to win the Super Bowl, even though they lost Pro Bowl tight end Rob Gronkowski to retirement. The Pats thought they had more than enough pass catchers to gain a 7th Lombardi trophy. The Oakland Raiders released a troubled and unhappy Antonio Brown before Week 1. Sure enough, Bill Belichick and the Patriots made the play for the All-Pro wideout, immediately signing him to a 1-year deal. Brown, Josh Gordon, Julian Edelman, and Tom Brady all in the same offense. Yeah, that was going to be scary. 100%. But scary enough to think the Patriots would post a perfect season? That was always going to be an exposed hot take. Gordon dealt with injuries and was let go by the Patriots mid-season, before being picked up by the Seattle Seahawks. The Patriots released Brown after just 1 game, following sexual assault allegations. Brown has continued to get into trouble with the law, and he was arrested for attacking a moving truck driver. Whether or not he plays football again remains to be seen. The Patriots offense never got in rhythm. A mid-season trade for Mohamed Sanu didn't do much, and the Patriots went one and done in the playoffs for the first time in 9 years. Number 13, Jon Gruden's trade for Antonio Brown. The Pittsburgh Steelers had no choice but to trade Antonio Brown after the 2018 season. He walked out in this team ahead of Week 17, and the front office decided to get rid of all the drama. They gave Brown away to the Raiders for 3rd and 5th round selections, and it looked like a giant coup for Jon Gruden. This trade took place just months after he sent away Pro Bowl wideout Amari Cooper to the Dallas Cowboys during the 2018 season. Will Brinson from CBS posted the following tweet after the AB trade to Oakland. Of course, nobody could have expected this trade to become such a disaster for Oakland before the regular season even began. I mean, like, nah, you could have probably guessed that, but you know what? We all had a little bit hope for him, you know? Number 12, so much for a Patriots-Bears Super Bowl. You couldn't blame anybody for picking the Patriots to win the Super Bowl this year, but the Chicago Bears, yeah, that's a tough one. They won 12 games last year and carried arguably the best defense in the league. But was Mitch Trubisky actually ready to take this team to the promised land? NFL.com experts listed their 2019 season predictions. Marcel Reese had the Patriots beating the Bears in Miami. Adam Rank predicted the same Super Bowl, but he actually had the Bears winning. Trubisky struggled mightily and was unable to take a step forward. Chicago's defense remained a top-tier unit, but head coach Matt Nagy couldn't help his 3rd-year quarterback reach the next level. Chicago finished a disappointing 8-8, placing them 3rd in the NFC North. And I also mentioned earlier that the Patriots were eliminated in the wild card round. Number 11, Joe Thomas crowns his old team. We're not faulting anyone for buying into the Browns' hype in the offseason. I mean, I fell into it. Pretty much everyone fell into it. And if you're saying that you didn't fall into it, you're lying. But even if they lived up to expectations and made the playoffs, it probably wouldn't have gone too far. Experience is crucial in the postseason, and the Browns don't have it. So picking them to win the Super Bowl this year was probably a case of too much too soon. But don't tell that to Browns legend and future Hall of Fame inductee Joe Thomas, who projected his team to win Super Bowl 54 over the Seahawks. Thomas predicted a 17-10 final for the Browns over Russell Wilson and company. Of course, Cleveland wound up going 6-10 to finish 3rd in the AFC North. At least he wasn't horribly wrong on the Seahawks pick. They were somewhat close to upsetting the Green Bay Packers in the divisional round. But yeah, the Browns weren't even close to being ready for a Super Bowl, let alone a playoff spot. Number 10, Jimmy Haslam. Seen this before. Jimmy became the owner of the Browns in 2012, and under his guidance, the franchise can be summed up like this: same old song and dance. The Browns have recorded nothing but losing seasons under Haslam's ownership. From 2012 to 2019, they went through 6 different head coaches. Many were shocked by the Browns' decision to promote Kitchens to head coach, given that he didn't really have the qualifications, but again, it's the Browns, so what do you expect? He was only Cleveland's interim offensive coordinator for the second half of the 2018 season. The front office decided they had seen enough, and so the Browns owner gave us this beauty of a hot take. The same one we've heard time and time again. So much for Kitchens being the right guy. He was in over his head all year, and the Browns fired him after a dismal 2019 campaign. Number 9. Colin Cowherd was so sure. Again, we won't fault anybody for picking the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. But you can't be over-the-top confident in picking a team in July. There are 32 teams competing for the same goal. Don't rush it. Colin Cowherd of Fox Sports showed way too much confidence in his Super Bowl 54 pick here. You could tell by the tone of the tweet that he was essentially guaranteeing it. But this time the Patriots did not get anywhere close to hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. I mean, Tom Brady was on that Hulu commercial for the Super Bowl. So that's kind of like saying he was at the big game, sort of. Not really. Number 8, Eagles will be NFC runner-ups. The Philadelphia Eagles brought back the same core that led them to a Super Bowl 52 championship 2 seasons ago. In fact, one can argue that this team was even better on paper, thanks to newcomers Miles Sanders, Deshaun Jackson, and JJ Arcega-Whiteside, plus a healthy Carson Wentz. Before the season, ESPN had 45 of their writers and editors share their picks for the 2019 season. The consensus turned out to be an NFC championship game between the Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. And we here at TPS also projected Philly to get right back to the NFC title game, where they'd meet Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Now, the Eagles were a popular pick to win the Super Bowl ahead of the season, but injuries and an inconsistent offensive unit held this team back from reaching its full potential. They barely won the awful NFC East with a mediocre 9-7 record. The Eagles then fell to the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC wildcard round. Wentz had to leave the game after suffering a head injury. Philly never once displayed the look of being a championship caliber team in 2019. TPS and ESPN weren't anywhere close on the whole Eagles in the NFC Championship game prediction. Yeah, we suck sometimes. It happens. We're human. Number 7, Raiders vs. Falcons Super Bowl. Not quite. Entering the 2019 season, the Raiders were a dark horse playoff contender. But everybody knows that this team wouldn't be anywhere close to competing for a Super Bowl. A wildcard berth was probably Oakland's ceiling. NFL.com analyst David Carr didn't see it that way. Perhaps he had too much faith in his younger brother Derek. The older Carr had the Raiders defeating the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl, believing that Oakland would give their fans the perfect farewell. The Raiders were a lot more fun to watch this year, thanks to flashy rookie Josh Jacobs and breakout tight end Darren Waller. And the Falcons performed way below expectations yet again, also finishing 7-9 and missing the postseason for the second straight year. I guess Derek's older brother was just being a good brother, looking out for his bro, trying to add some hype, having faith. I don't know. Number 6, Freddie Kitchens. Not quite Coach of the Year. Ahead of the 2019 season, Bleacher Report polled its experts on each of the major award winners. Kitchens was the only candidate to receive 2 votes to win Coach of the Year. That obviously did not go as expected. Instead of becoming Coach of the Year, Kitchens became Mr. One and Done, as he was fired after the season thanks in large part to some suspect play calls all season long, as well as a drama-filled locker room. Number 5, 49ers don't finish under 500. Many expected the 49ers to take major leaps in 2019, and for good reason. Starting quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo was back after tearing his ACL in week 3 of the previous season. They brought in Nick Bosa, Dee Ford, and Quan Alexander to further boost an already stout front 7. Now, almost nobody expected the 49ers to win 13 games, as well as claim the top seed in the NFC, and reach the Super Bowl. This team certainly exceeded expectations in 2019. John Breach of CBS Sports wasn't buying the hype on the 49ers one bit. He expressed concern over Garoppolo's struggles in practice, and the fact that the Seahawks and Los Angeles Rams had more talent in the NFC West. Breach offered a bold prediction that the 49ers would finish below 500. He certainly wasn't alone there, but I mean, let's just say the 49ers truly proved all the naysayers wrong. Number 4, Carson Wentz will win MVP. Or not. Wentz would have won the MVP award in 2017 if he didn't suffer an ACL tear. Injuries hampered him in 2018, but there was good reason to believe that he'd regain that top-tier form in 2019. Wentz was finally healthy, and the Eagles added plenty of weapons to complement a supporting cast that already included Alshon Jeffrey and Zach Ertz. Before the 2019 campaign started, experts from Sports Illustrated shared their predictions for how the season would play out. 4 of them picked Wentz to win the MVP award, but he didn't come anywhere close to playing like a top 10 or 15 quarterback all season. And we're not so sure he would have reached that MVP level even if Jackson, Jeffrey, and the other receivers stayed healthy. Number 3, Titans receive major backlash for Ryan Tannehill trade. The Titans opted not to give starting quarterback Marcus Mariota a contract extension ahead of the 2019 season. In the offseason, they made a trade for Miami Dolphins signal caller Ryan Tannehill in order to provide backup insurance for the inconsistent and oft-injured Mariota. And so once ESPN's Adam Schefter broke the news of the trade,
The world went crazy.
Twitter roasted the Titans. Just take a small glance at the replies to Schefter's tweets. All Tannehill did was win 7 of his 10 starts after replacing Mariota. He completed 70.3% of his passes for 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And he helped Tennessee dethrone the defending champion Patriots in the wildcard round. Now that is an ego boost. Tannehill also led the Titans to a shocking victory over MVP Lamar Jackson and the top-seeded Baltimore Ravens in the divisional round. That is an even bigger ego boost. And he won Comeback Player of the Year honors. Coming back from what? Well, the Dolphins. Yeah, shame on the Titans for giving up a mid-round pick and land Tannehill. What were they thinking? Number 2, Browns will win AFC North. Ravens finish 3rd. Yeah, definitely. Sorry to pick on the Cleveland Browns a lot, but I mean, it's the Browns. We still can't get over all the hot takes and how embarrassingly bad they were. But we're promised that we're done after this. Ahead of the 2019 season, NFL.com asked its experts to vote on all the division winners and wildcard teams. The Browns were the consensus pick to win the AFC North with 13 votes, and the Pittsburgh Steelers were a close second with 12. Oh, and the Ravens, who finished with the NFL's top record at 14-2, only garnered 4 of the votes. They only received a trio of wildcard berth votes as well. While the Browns were too busy losing games and falling below expectations, the Ravens fielded an MVP winner in Lamar Jackson and Coach of the Year in John Harbaugh. I mean, we should have all seen this coming. It's the Browns. And the Ravens are kind of a model organization. Number 1, Total Pro Sports Compilation. Yeah, that's right, we kind of suck sometimes. It happens. We try, we're human. It happens. We make mistakes. It's okay. We see your comments. We know you trash us. We know we make mistakes. We're human. I like to see you guys do what we do every single week. It's not easy. It'd be highly hypocritical of Total Pro Sports to point out all of these exposed hot takes without exposing our own. I mean, we're way off on so many predictions. We really are. And it happens. We don't feel good about it. We'll admit our faults. We're human, like I said. You can blame me, you can blame our writers, you can blame our editors, you can blame whatever. We make mistakes. It happens. In our playoff predictions, we had the Browns winning the AFC North before falling to the Patriots in the AFC divisional round. That didn't go so well, did it? In our list for the 10 most obvious predictions for 2019, we said that Jason Garrett wouldn't get fired. Like, what? Actually, that was the number 1 entry on our list. And what do you know it? He got fired. That was our number 1 that said he wasn't going to get fired. Like, what were we thinking? What were our writers thinking? Well, who knows? In our list of top 10 offseason moves these teams may regret, we had the Arizona Cardinals' decision to take Kyler Murray with the first overall selection at number 1. And it kind of worked out for them, for the better part, and not for us here at TPS. The Baltimore Ravens boasted the NFL's best secondary last year. They made it even more scary by adding Pro Bowl safety Earl Thomas on a 5-year deal worth $55 million. But we also listed this as a move that the Ravens may regret. What? Nathan Peterman! Well, all Thomas did was earn his 7th Pro Bowl selection while helping the Ravens earn the best record in the NFL. Yeah, that's a big no-no on us. Big yikes on us. And to wrap it up, let's just humiliate ourselves by reminding you of our NFC West standings prediction. We had both the 49ers and Seahawks going 8-8, while the Rams would go 12-4 to win the division for a 3rd straight year. We tried and we failed big time. It happens. We're human. We're just trying to give you guys good content and also, you know, have our expert opinion. But like, it happens. Sorry. So we're going to try to do our best to get our predictions better over the next year. And if we don't, well, sorry. What other old takes exposed should we have included on our list? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere, go find us. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes 1 click right down below. Make sure to subscribe to TPS because we post videos all the time. You get to see our awesome expert predictions and us mess up all the time, which is fine because, you know, again, we're human. We make mistakes. I have to shoot and edit 5-10 minute long videos a week. So, you know, we're going to make mistakes. It happens. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.
My knee.